Good morning, dear students. In the last class, we have completed our first lesson. Today we are moving to our second lesson. Before that, have a look on this video. What are the things you have noticed in that video? You have seen mountains, valleys, lakeside and plains, agricultural land, grassland and forest in that video, right? Now, let me ask you some questions based on that video. Why can't we cultivate the crops in a desert or a mountain? Why can't we get iron or coal or petroleum from digging our courtyard? Why Antarctica? You all know Antarctica is a continent. Why can't we live there? Why can't we cultivate there? You have answers. So this is the answer for all these questions. This is due to the uneven distribution of natural resources on the earth. This is due to the uneven distribution of natural resources on the earth. We have studied about all the resources in the first lesson, right? Look, our earth. Our earth is made up of land and water. 70% of the earth is filled with water and the remaining 30% is land. 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of land area. The remaining 70% of the land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. That means this 70% is less populated or without people. So why this population is differ or why this population is varies from place to place? There are two factors for this difference in the population. That is the characteristics of land and the climate. The climate and land determines the population or whether to live there or to live there. Okay. The rugged topography, the steep slopes of mountains, the waterlogging areas that are below the sea level, the thick forest and the desert areas. These are the places which are less populated or these are the areas which are sparsely populated. Sparsely populated means less populated. The rugged topography means the area which are uneven or with covered with rocks. Okay, covered with rocks. These areas and the desert areas. You know, in the desert areas it is very difficult to live. And in the deep forest, can we live in the forest? No, of course not, because there will be wild animals and we have no living conditions in a forest. Okay, the steep slopes of the mountain, there are people. Okay, there are people, but a few in number. Only a few are living there. These places are not much populated due to the characteristics of these lands. But look at the plains and river valleys. Plains are the flat lands and valleys are the places nearer to rivers. These places are very much comfortable for living for men. Oh, these are very suitable for living. These are the densely populated areas in the world because it is suitable for agriculture. In the history, we have studied in the previous classes that the ancient people lived by groups in the banks of the rivers. You know the reason why they lived in the banks of the river? Because it was the fertile land that to cultivate their agriculture or to expand their agriculture, or they have a lot of water from the river. So due to these characteristics, the ancient people start to live group by groups in the shores of the rivers. Likewise, the valleys and the plains that are nearer to the rivers are mostly populated areas in the world. Now look around you. Observe for what purposes the land is used. We have used it for building houses, building school, for agriculture, right? You can see the paddy fields around you. Then making roads and making industries, and like that. There are many uses for a land. Okay, so all these purposes the land is used. For all these purposes that the land is used is commonly termed as the land use. What will we call it? Land use. Land use. Land use is the term that is used to indicate the uses of land. Land use means uses of lands. So we are using our land for many purposes. And this land use is determined by two factors, that are physical factors and human factors. Physical factors and human factors. Physical factors are the factors that determine the land use from outside. So let me conclude what I have said in this class. The first thing is, land is a most important natural resource. There are many types of landforms in our earth. Thirdly, the land is used for many purposes such as agriculture, transportation, building of houses, industry, etc. And this all purposes altogether called the land use. And land use is determined by two factors, physical factors and human factors. This is what we have learned today. So catch you in the next class. Thank you.